So today the topic is like for in Tableau, there are the few topics which are bit generally in practice. The capability of the tool, you can easily find out how the data blending can be done. Even I have shared the file, like you can easily do it at your machine. Data blending in Tableau is a different concept. Whatever we have done or whatever we have learned so far in maybe Power BI, maybe Excel, maybe any other BI or the AI tool, data blending in Tableau is like a adjustment of the data. If you have the data taking from the multiple data sources. Suppose one data is coming from the Oracle data source, another data is coming from the SQL Server data source. Maybe the third data is coming from the Excel sheet, and you want to just take data from each data sources and put on a single page. Single page in the sense, even the concept immediately arises like the logic should come like we are taking the multiple, we are connecting with the multiple data sources and taking the data from the different pages. It acts like a, it looks like a join, but actually this is not a joining. Joining, actually you are establishing a relationship between the two tables. Maybe it is coming from the different data sources, but actually you are joining. You are building up third table. That is a joining or the relationship you can. In data blending, you are not actually joining anything. You are not building any third element like inner join, left join, right join, outer join, any kind of thing. You are actually connecting with the data and just putting all the data on a single page to just do the comparison. Maybe just look for the sheet wise. You are not actually joining. So that's why it is a data blending. Whatever the definition I have explained, it is mentioned in the same way, not exactly same, because I just define in my own words, but the definition has been mentioned over here. So data blending in Tableau, if you have the multiple data sources and you are connect and you don't want to establish relationship between each the table, in that case you use the data blending. Here the primary and the secondary data source. It very much look like a left outer join. So difference between the left outer join and the data blending is left outer join is happening between the two tables and from the same data source, while data blending are generally happening between the two tables but from the different data sources. So this is actually a act look like. So whatever the definition I have mentioned in a very quick way, and this is important in terms of the clearing the interview because such concept generally arises in the practical or in the real time project. It's a rarely used in Tableau because for data blending there's a lot of data prepping tool or data new ETL tool in the market. So they are particularly used for the data blending. But yes, for the tool capability, yes, Tableau also has the capability to develop the data blending. For the best practices, data blending should not do in Tableau desktop or in any tool because data blending is first limitation is limited to the sheet only. Means if we have this sheet, suppose we apply data sheet on this part, so what will happen? It will limited to a only like bump chart I am applying. It will be only applicable for the bump chart. If I am looking for the waterfall analysis, then again I need to apply the data blending on the waterfall. Again I need to go for the histogram analysis. So it is limited to first thing for the sheet wise, it's not a dashboard wise. And another important thing, once you publish your dashboard, like what we have done, we publish the dashboard, right? So after publishing the dashboard, your dashboard becomes very slow because you are not joining anything. You are connecting live with the table, live with the data sources. So loading the data, refreshing the data, connecting the data, it's time taking process. And after that, you do some computation and your dashboard becomes very slow. So data blending is good once you are very dedicated for the sheet wise and the presentation wise. You are not much worrying about the publishing the dashboard. So that's why it is important. So definitely I will show you some example Just give me a second. But yes, let go for some PPT wise, like what exactly it is the advantages you can see. So it is easy to understand to analyze the data, to give you the decision making process. It provides an aggregate values from the multiple data sources and you can compare the values with each other. So this is a good one for comparison. Actually, you are not joining anything, you are not building any third table. Like during the join, you build up like if you have the inner join, right join, left join. Actually, once you join, the third table is built up and you get the new result. In data blending, you are not joining anything. Your table is as it is. You are just taking the data and putting all the data in a single page. So this is the like beauty of the tool. So this is the advantage. Like you don't need to combine or don't need to join or need to you don't need to establish a relationship between the two tables from the different data sources. You can build up a single table and you can see the data on a single page as well. So limitations, as I mentioned, like there's a lot of theoretical perspective you can go for this. Like, but as per my experience, as well as the best practices, data blending is not designed for the dashboarding. First thing, once you develop your dashboard, you should avoid data blending because it slows down your dashboard performance. Along with that, it is like once you publish your dashboard, you need a lot of resources to publish the data sources. First, you need to publish your data sources, then you can go for the publishing of the dashboard also. So ultimately, it slows down your performance, and actually, it is not joining. And after that, like whenever we develop any report, we always go for the like we do some calculations like grand total, average, sum, mean kind of thing. So such kind of things you cannot perform. And why you cannot perform? Because you are not joining anything. You are just putting two tables all together and getting the data. You are doing the comparison. So aggregations like median, count, or any kind of like max min kind of thing you cannot perform. So now means you can easily identify what is the difference between the data blending and for the join or the relationship. And this is used only for the comparison of the data. So let me do on the machine itself. Just give me a second. Just give me a second. Are we good for the theory perspective? Right? Kindly confirm, please. One more screen. Just give me a second. Fetch a screen, right? Tableau public book 2. Kindly confirm, please. So, hello. Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
So, okay. Many thanks. So now we can see like this is like a sample data file what I have taken for the data blending. Like I've already shared such files with you in LMS. It is available on the day one itself. So data blending file one I'm taking, and what exactly the same way we can see like the data is coming out. So this is a data blending file one. You can see the employee data, some employee data with some columns employee. This is sample. That's why you don't need to worry much about. But the ultimate purpose is to get the data blending. So name, employee ID, and salary is respected over there. Now, like this is a connection established, and the file name is data blending file one, and it is a Excel sheet. So now, if I'm looking for the second data set, how can we add also? There's a multiple way you can add. You can add one more connection from here, as well as you can go to the sheet one, go to the data, and you can find out like there is a new data source. Again, you can find out. Okay, just click over on the new data source. You will get the same kind of window. Click on the Microsoft Excel. We have done such kind of things multiple times. This time we are going to add a new file, data blending file 2. So now you can see the data blending file 2 is also appearing. Just keep in mind we have the two files now, data blending file 1 and data blending file 2. If you go to this drop down, you will get it like data blending file 2 itself. If you go to the sheet now, okay, on the data part, please be with me. This is the tricky part, and if you can do it with me, then fine. Otherwise, please, once you have the time, go for the recording. Look into things very carefully. Like now, you can see under this data, you can see the department data and the employee data. So now you have the two files all together on the left hand side, file 1 and file 2. If you go to the data part again, now you can see under the drop down, you have the department data and you have the employee data. Okay. So once you have such kind of things, now you can see below is a like edit under the data, there is a edit blend relationship. If you click on the edit blend relationship, now you can see the blend relationship values. Like blend relationship determine how data from secondary data sources are joined with primary data sources. So you have the two options, primary data source and the secondary data source. Actually, you are going to blend a relationship between the two data sources itself. Two files we are taking, right? File 1 and file 2. That means we are not taking two tables currently, we are taking two files altogether. File 1 and the file 2. So file 1 is for the employee data, file 2 is from the department data. So once you have the primary data source selected as a department data or anything like employee data, you can also take. By default, it will take a secondary data source for the department. So once you click, you will get a relationship on this. So now you can see that there are the two data sources. So what we have done, we have make the primary data source as employee data and the department data as a department. So employee data and the so now you can establish a relationship. After doing this, you have the two tables. So and from the employee table, we are dragging drop under the row name, employee ID, as well as you can drop the salary also. Okay, and just make the data in a because the blue sign is only for the categorical data, discrete data, and for the continuous data we have the green sign. So we can make it into a discrete. So now you can get the sum of this as well as discrete of the salary as well. So not making sum, I will make it as a count. This is a good. Okay. So we have the some comparison. Now these data is coming from the employee data. And you can see there is a blue sign also. Now just click on the left hand side at the top, department data.
Hello.
Yes.
How it is a blending actually is completely not able to understand this thing about that. Those you added two tables and then what
I
did we
just
did?
go to the data in your, okay, can
Mhm.
you please share your screen? It will be better because
Sure.
I have done on my machine, it is recorded.
No
So it is
problem.
better
No
to have
problem.
in your machine, right? Even this is a good ask. Even data blending maybe is not going to help you in the dashboarding, but the logical part. It's a excellent concept. Okay. So
Sure.
you
So
okay.
you added two tables, blending one and two.
So there are two files, not two tables. Okay.
Sorry, two
Yeah.
files.
No issue. Okay. Go to the sheet one then. Sheet one below. You are on the data source. At the bottom, you can see. Go down.
Which one?
No.
Oh, this one, sheet
Yeah.
one.
Sheet one. Yeah. So still you can see only the department data is available. Not under the data, you can see only the department data.
Yeah.
So even you have not added the blending relationship. Go to the data then.
Here,
And no,
data
no,
source.
no, 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 not data source. At the top, there is a data tab also at the top next to the file. Yes. So you can see the edit blend relationship is not there. So click on the new data source. Now go to the Microsoft Excel and take the data file one because two is already there. I think department data is there. So now you can see the data blending file one, right?
Okay.
Now go to the sheet one. Again, go to the data. Now you can see the under the difference. Under the data, you can see the two files, department data and employee data, right? Go to the
Yes.
data. Yes, please. Go to the data. Yeah. Click on the edit blend relationship.
Okay.
Now you have the primary data source as the employee data and secondary data source, you can see the department data. So
Yes.
just select as a custom option and click on the add below because you need to establish relationship between the two data source. So by default, it is picking name and the
Name
employee name.
and yes.
Okay. So click on the OK. You can add this is like a sample file, that's why. Otherwise, you can add many more fields, whatever you are like. So just click on the OK. Now you have the relationship altogether. From the employee data, now you can drag drop the name to the rules or the employee ID, salary, whatever you like. You can just put over there. Employee ID, you can put also if you wish. I don't know why employee ID is available like this. Okay. And the salary. So like this data is coming from the employee data source, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Salary as a sum. Make it as a discrete. It is a continuous. Make it as a discrete. Below the sum, there is a continuous and discrete. So make it as a discrete. No, no, no. Yes. So, and now you can take the data for sum of
Why
salary
it is
or
why it is appearing like this? How can I change this to
yep. Just give me a second. Give me a second. Sum of salary, make it as a discrete.
oh,
Got it?
yeah.
Hmm.
Now I can change here from major to count.
Yep, yep. Anything. Means just all your play. How would you like to do? Now just click on the department data. Means you are fetching data from the employee data. Yes. Click on. Now the you can see the below the table everything is getting changed. Uh,
Yes.
so you can take again employee name over here. And one more thing, you can see next to the employee name there is some dumbbell sign is there. Two circles are next to the employee name.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
So
Link sign.
this shows you can click over there. Yeah. Just put the mouse. Yeah. So this shows this is the secondary table which is linked to the primary data source. So
Yes.
if you click, then what will happen? It will like it is already the link between the two tables, two data sources. If you want to unplug, you can unplug out. So this is the like a option. So now you can take employee name again and drag drop to the rows. Okay.
Okay.
And now you can take a bonus, department ID, whatever, again to the. So the difference is, yeah, once you do this, then I will let you know. Everybody, this is a very, interesting thing. If you go for the data analytics part or data analysis part, this is a very, interesting thing how to compare the data. Ultimately, you are going to compare the data, right? And yes, okay, be as it is. So now you can see under the data, we have the two kind of, the data sources. One is coming from the blue employee data, right? And the secondary data source, which is the department data, is showing as a orange or amber kind of thing. So Tableau is capable enough easily identify which one is a primary data source and which one is a secondary data source. Are you able to see? Like the Nilesh, you can go to the data tab, means where you can see the department data. No, no, not there. Below. Yes. So you can see the department data is coming from the like some orange sign is there. Why the
Yeah.
employee data is in a blue sign. So this shows like blue sign is primary data source and department data is a secondary data source. If you want to make a change, means you want to make department data as a primary data source and employee data as a secondary data source. Now go to the data at the top. Yeah. Edit blend relationship. Yes. Click over here. Now under the primary data source, you can change. No, primary
Okay.
data source you can change. Yeah.
So from
Make it
here
as,
we can see.
yes, you can make it as a department and the secondary data source will automatically change. You can see. And if you click OK, and after that, once you develop one new sheet or anything, it will show you the same way. And why it is required? Uh, because this is a sheet specific. So sometimes you need a primary data source, you need to swap between from one to another. So in this case, employee data is a primary data source and the secondary data source is the department data and it acts like a left join. So it will take all the values from the employee data and few values from the department data. Just create a new data sheet, like sheet, sorry, new sheet, sheet 2. Yeah. So now just do it again, the same thing, whatever you have done in the sheet 1, please do the same thing here. So this is a very, very interesting thing once you do for the data blending. Okay. Now go to the employee data. Please be here. Yeah, yeah, this is done. So now you can compare with the sheet 1 and sheet 2. Okay. Yep. Now you can compare with the sheet 1 and sheet 2. Like sheet 2, you have the employee data as a secondary data source. While in the sheet 1, go to the sheet 1, sheet 1, no, sheet 1 at the below. Yeah. Now here, employee data as a primary data source. You can see the blue sign. So in both the sheet, the relationship is completely changed, right? In sheet 1, employee data as a primary data source. In sheet 2, employee data as a secondary data source. And the output is also changed. Means it acts like a left join. So whatever the primary data source will be there, based on that, it will show all the data from the left data source along with the matching values altogether. Got the concept, everybody, on the table here?
Yes. Yes.
Thank you. Any doubt, any query? So that we can take it, like this is a data blending, how you can compare the data, how you can manage the data altogether. So this is one part I would like to take. Another thing, just give me a second. Why is this coming like this? So this, what exactly I showed you earlier, and I think we have covered this part. So let me go back to the what exactly. Report efficiency, we have seen this part. Just give me a second. The calculations, LOD. Okay. So another big concept in Tableau is LOD. That's a level of detail. Everybody, this is request to everyone for this concept because this is like very widely used in Tableau. This is a special feature which is available for the level of detail. Even I picked this name earlier, but this time we are going to make a practice on the same and we are going to take an example how does it matter. In Power BI, whatever you have seen in the DAX part, the same thing we can achieve. Even the more than that, we can achieve to the LOD also. So the concept is same. LOD is level of detail means at what level you want to get for dimensions to be more detailed. Like If you have any complex kind of requirement, you want to calculate some values based on some other categorical values, you use the LOD. So LOD is a short abbreviations for the level of details. It's a complicated expressions. Generally in Tableau, what is happening in level of details? You are calculating some aggregating value by using some dimension. So what exactly I'm trying to say, we will make it in a nice practice as well. And request to everyone, post this session because this is the last session for a limited period of time. But make this practice in a very nice way for the LODs because data blending is like a theoretical concept, not theoretical. It's for the general analysis you do data comparison. But LOD are generally used for the development in a wide way. It's a must-do exercise in Tableau. So it's a very important, and that's why I'm taking a time on this. So please be with me. Types of LOD are like three main types of LOD. Level of detail. Fixed LOD, include LOD, and exclude LOD. So fixed LOD is like you are keeping one dimension fixed and calculating some other measures. It could be aggregate value, count, mean, max, average, whatever. Including is like a you are including certain field of certain dimensions altogether and calculating some value. Don't worry, these are the typical definitions. We will look into the more detailed part in the development just after a couple of seconds. Exclude, you are keeping a particular dimensions out from the calculations and calculating rest of the value. Now, just take a simple example. Suppose I want to take, we have a table like um, like the customer, people, customer, location, or the category, subcategory, like the sample superstore we have taken. So based on that, if we are going to calculate the value, suppose based on the location, if I want to calculate number of quantity. So based on location means we are keeping the location fixed. So based on the location, we are taking the quantity. That's fine. This is a fixed LOD. Include LOD. So along with the location, I want to include the category. So based on category and the location, we are calculating the quantity. That's a include LOD. Now the rest of the fields are not getting included because we included only two fields, locations and the category. We didn't include subcategory, shift mode or segment kind of thing. Now if I put the exclude LOD, so exclude LOD, if you mention exclude like location and the category, so these two fields will be out and rest of the fields are in to calculate the quantity. So this is ultimate logic and it is required. And how does it work? So please be with my screen and this is going to be a very good example. Like LOD, I'm going to do that. So just give me a second. I'm taking a region, okay, and then I'm taking a category as I mentioned, and after that we are taking a subcategory, I'm taking the quantity from the measure under the text. Okay. Or just give me a second. I should not use category or subcategory. Just taking very simple statement. Central, based on central, the quantity sold. Just give me a second. Be with me. Just name as a pseudocode. Everything. We have done this part, so I'm not going to explain this part. But quickly doing quantity to and rest of the values are hiding and we can keep what formatting. Sorry. So I'm formatting